Hey there. Welcome to episode 0 of the Meez podcast. I'm your host, Josh Sharkey. I'm a chef and a restaurant owner, and now in the technology world as the founder and CEO of a recipe technology called meez, which I will try to do my very best not to shamelessly plug more than once or twice in each episode. So this podcast was born out of a fireside chat that I hosted with Chef Wylie Dufresne, whom, if you don't know, is one of the most talented and inspiring figures in the food world.
Creating an environment where it's okay to talk shit to the chef. Like that, to me, that's how you get people to care about what they're putting on the plate when you're not there, is you build an environment where everybody feels like if this thing succeeds, I'm going to be a part of making it succeed. And that feels good that I was part of making this place succeed.
The talk was part of an annual team summit that we do where we fly the entire team at meez in to connect and strategize. Of course, there's a lot of chefs on the team, but there's far more engineers, product managers, and customer success and support and things like that. But the feedback was that they were just so inspired and learned so much from Chef Wylie, and not just about cooking, obviously, but about innovation and creating a culture of creativity. It was awesome. And they all said, well, we should do a podcast. So I said, why the hell not? So I've gathered some of the most innovative people in the food world, from chefs and entrepreneurs to photographers, designers, activists, cheesemakers, and more, to come on the show.
We never intended to do anything other than milk cows and make cheese and have a life on the land with our families. And then Cabot Creamery knocked on our door and asked if we would make for them a private label, like English style bandaged cheddar, which was a ridiculous idea. This is like 2003, the year that we started making cheese, right?
We're going to dig into why they do what they do, how they're shifting the paradigm in some way or another, and how we create and operate in our industry. And hopefully we just have a lot of fun and interesting conversations. My hope is that not only if you're a chef or a restaurant owner or a mixologist or a sommelier or any type of food professional, but if generally you share the same love as I do for understanding how to have a lasting impact on your industry or the world, that you'll find this as satisfying as I do. And if not, at the very least, you'll have a chance to hear some pretty awesome stories, like this one from Chef Reem Asil.
If I were to describe Arab hospitality in a nutshell, it's like sweet torture.
I love that.
It's like, let me just give you everything that I have, make you feel abundance, even if it's the last thing that I have. You know, I think the Arabs have really survived, you know, in the desert and everywhere they've traveled by being gracious to their friends and enemies alike.
So make sure to subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast and learn more at www.getmeez.com/podcast. That's GETMEEZ.com/podcast. Thanks for tuning into the Meez podcast. The music from the show is a remix of the song Art Mirror by an old friend, hip-hop artist Fresh Daily. For show notes and more, visit getmeez.com/podcast. That's GETMEEZ.com/podcast. If you enjoyed the show, I'd love it if you can share it with your fellow entrepreneurs and culinary pros, and give us a 5-star rating wherever you listen to your podcasts. Keep innovating, don't settle, make today a little better than yesterday, and remember, it's impossible for us to learn what we think we already know. See you next time.